Hello friends, good afternoon. So today we will see how to calculate your percentage of battery remained in your IoT device. So this is a very important parameter to know when to recharge your device. Okay, so we will be working on ESP8266. You can see one ESP chip here. So here is the ADC pin. You can see it here, ADC. So this is a 1 volt tolerant ADC. That is ADC is analog digital converter, and it is a 10-bit ADC. That means you can have a value up to 2 to the power 10. That is, if you do 2 to the power 10 to up to 10 times, it is 1024. And because it starts at 0, so you can have a highest reading of 1024, 1023, sorry. So you can divide this 1 volt, the maximum volt that you can apply to this ADC pin, into 1024 parts. So that is what is the resolution of this chip. So that is good enough for us to begin calculation. So let's begin. So today's exercise we will be using a Wish3 board here, because Wish3 board make available two voltage levels. One is 5 volt. So 5 volt, I mean the direct voltage, because now this Wish3 board is connected to my laptop, so it is supplying 5 volt from there. So we get this raw voltage here in this pin. So you can see it is almost 4.97. Okay, and we also get 3.3 volt on this board. I have made these two voltages available because a lot of time we need these two voltages. So this is here, you can see the reading, 3.26, so almost 3.3 volt. Okay, so we will be using these two voltages. And also this board has got, let me open it up and show you, one analog pin here. This pin here is the analog pin. This pin here is the analog in pin. Okay, this pin here, this one. Okay, and so I will put this analog, I will connect this analog pin with 5 volt ones and 3.3 volt ones to check the readings, whether it is giving me correct reading. And also, so before we get into the code, let us have a look at the schematic drawing of Wish3 board. So you can see 510k and 100k resistor used in voltage divider circuit, and the central pin goes to analog pin of ESP8266, which is A0, and pin 34 in case of ESP32, because this board can accommodate both the chips, right? So now let us, so we have a voltage divider here like this. One side we have 5k, another side we have, sorry, 500k, another side I have 100k, right? Okay, so and this point is connected to the analog ADC pin. Okay, so this is kind of ground, I mean this is the battery actually. So this is where we get the 5 volt. Okay, so we need to calculate what is the voltage here when we apply 5 volt and when we apply 3.3 volt. Okay, so let us see. So we have done this voltage divider calculation already, and we know the voltage across here is, if this is R1 and R2, it would be proportional to, right, it would be proportional to R2 divided by R1 plus R2, right? So so this is 1k, and this is 500k, this is 100k, so 600k, and here we have 100k. So this is the ratio. So this is kind of 1 by 6. So this is 1/6. So when we apply 5 volt, okay, so when we apply 5 volt, we should get 5 by 6 volt here. That is almost 0.8 volt, right? And when we apply 3.3 volt here, we get 0.55 kind of volt, right? So that is the voltage we get in the ADC. So now if we do the calculation, like for 1 volt, when the complete 1 volt is applied to this ADC, it produces a reading of 1023. So when 0.8 volt is applied, how much be 0.8, and when 0.55 volt is applied, what should be the reading? So like this. So let me do the calculation. So I do not have a calculator nearby, so let me do it like this. So 818, almost 818, and the other one is 1023 into 55. Okay, and 5115, so 56265, so it's almost 562. Okay, so now we'll go into the code and we'll see whether we receive these values. Okay, so if you see, look at the code, it is very simple. I define an integer first and then read the analog pin and print the reading value in serial monitor every 200 millisecond. Okay, so I have provided a photo as well. So now let us see what it is printing. So we don't need such a big one. So it is printing very nothing. It's close to zero. Actually, if you see this analog pin where the camera is rolling a bit slower, okay, than my voice. Okay, so this is now hanging and connected to nothing. So these are all garbage values, should be zero ideally if it is grounded. Okay, so now I am connecting this to 5-volt pin here. Okay, so you see the values started changing, and what we calculated, so just please remember this is around 860. Okay, when it is 5-volt it is around 860, and then when I remove this from 5-volt and put it on 3.3-volt, the reading is 566. Okay, so please remember, say 560 for 3.3-volt, and for 5-volt it is, I myself forgot actually, 860, 560, 860, 560, 860. Okay, so now we'll go there and do the rest of the calculations. Okay, so if you now have a look here, so we get reading like 860, there is a gap, and 560, which is almost very close. Okay, so there might be other reasons, like we did a lot of approximation here. It should be like 0.83 or 84, something like that. That is other thing. And other one is we are using gold band resistors, so this has got 5% tolerance. So it's better to go with the reading that your device is providing rather than what your calculation finds. Okay, because there will be some error in tolerances in resistor. Your voltage may be not very correctly 5-volt and all this. So it's better to go with the reading when you do the battery percentage calculation rather than going with your calculation. But this I am showing you because you get an idea how these things come out. Okay, right, so now let us move on. So you get something like this when you have 5-volt. Okay, you get a reading of 860. Okay, so you have 5-volt and you have 3.3-volt. Okay, and you get some corresponding reading. So for 5-volt you get 860, which is corresponding to 100% battery, and then it will go down. Okay, and here you get a reading of 560, which is 3.3-volt. Okay, so this is corresponding to 0%. Even not this is 0%, because your 0% should be when your device stop working, right? So when you so we are using a 3.3-volt chip which is ESP8266, right? So we are using a voltage regulator, of course, and that has got some, even if it's a LDO, low dropout, it has got some dropout. So say it has got some 0.5-volt dropout. Okay, so your device will stop working when you are at 3.8-volt, because this 0.5-volt will be dropped in your regulator, and your chip will not get enough voltage to run. Okay, so and you can keep 0.2-volt for tolerance, because if you go up to the tolerance level, what will happen, so customer will complain that even when there is not battery 0%, your device stop working, because when the voltage is low, your sensors might not get enough current and the readings will be erratic and it will not be right reading. So say at 4-volt we say it is 0%. Okay, and so you will have a corresponding reading for that. Say it is 600. Okay, you can calculate from here, or you can see applying 4-volt to your board. Okay, what is the reading? So this is how, based on your readings at different locations at different voltage point, you can say. So say when you getting a reading of 700, you say corresponding battery percent remains, say it is 80, and when you get a reading of say 600, sorry, 600 is almost 0, so you get 750, you say we have 50%. So this is a linear calculation you can do, which is not very accurate, but this is a rough estimation of what happens. So now we'll move into real curve, how battery actually discharge. Okay, so let us have a look first on my monitor what Google say, and then we'll come back here again. So this is a Google search of battery discharge curve. So you see the battery discharge like this. So this is a LiPo battery or lithium ion battery discharge curve. They have nominal voltage at around 3.7 volt, right? So most of the time this when you fully charge your battery, it goes up to 4.2 volt or something like that, and then it discharge very quickly and come near 3.7 volt, which is the nominal voltage level, and then it remains at its nominal voltage level for very long, and then it discharge very fast quickly in the end. Okay, so you can see it is not a linear one, and that is why a lot of intelligence goes into the algorithm calculating the battery percentage remain, and why there are so many color of curves. So as I told in my earlier video as well, so the faster you discharge the battery, the lower you consume the charges. So you see 18 times of battery capacity, that is the discharge rate here. So you don't even capture the whole capacity in milliamp hour or ampere hour. Yes, so the slower you discharge your battery, the more you can consume the charges. Okay, so now let us go back to our calculation and see then how to cope up with such situation when the battery discharge curve is not very linear. Okay, so let us go back to calculation. So now this is the last part here. So we have seen the battery discharge curve is not very linear, and it is something more like this. So if this is the nominal voltage, say 3.7 volt for a LiPo battery, so max charge will be 4.2 volt, and then towards the end it will fall very fast. Okay, so it is not obviously linear that we thought. So how to cope up with this? So that is why the battery discharge charge is also a how much battery percentage is also a function of time. So it is like this: battery percentage remain should be weightage of voltage, W1 is the weightage of voltage, plus W2 is the some weightage of time. So you see our mobile phone always take a track of when it was last recharged. So the phone was charged 4 hours back, something kind of that. They keep that because so that they can calculate this. So the W1 plus W2 is normally equal to unity, and W2 again is a function of time. The more the time lapse, the weightage of W2 should increase, because the more time lapse, and then the time lapse is the only thing that matters to the battery percent, not much voltage. Now the question is, what if someone charge at around this point, charge for just a minute, and then remove the phone from charge? What will happen? So your time will reset to 0 again, but your phone is not charged fully. So this is kind of bluffing the phone, but our algo nowadays are even intelligent to take that into account. So how long it is charged, they even keep a track of that time. And other thing is, when you are charging very slowly, right, discharging very slowly, not charging, discharging very slowly, then sometimes what happen at this point, maybe when your device is sleep for say 15 minutes, and then there will be some battery gain, okay, and the voltage will increase. So maybe you have reported 40% battery now, and in next pole, without charging, you say the battery percentage is 50%. That might happen because the battery regains some charges and the voltage, there is a voltage increase. But this should not happen with your customer. So your algo also should be intelligent to take care of this these things. So when once it has reported 40, unless there is a charger connection, it should not report any higher voltage. So this kind of intelligence should be there in the algo, and there are many others as well. So as time evolves, these things evolve. So now even battery percentage calculation is a big calculation and a big algo, though it is a auxiliary part only of the device functioning, but still. Right, so this is it. So please stay tuned and subscribe. I hope you have liked it, and next time we will come with code. So we will come with that.